Hey guys, this is Krista from the Moratorium. Do you like grisly gore and mysteries? Of course you do. That is why I suggest you subscribe to my blog, Suspended Animation, Dormant Stories Waiting to be Told, where we at the Moratorium offer a number of lurid tales from axemen running around New Orleans to phantoms in Texarkana. And if you're feeling especially generous, head over to our Patreon, where for just a couple bucks a month, you can help the Moratorium grow. And that would be pretty kick-ass. And remember, long live VHS.
Here, fishy, fishy, fishy. Ooh, bad fishy. We here at the Moratorium would like to thank Roger Corman for having the vision and the balls to give young boys from the age of 10 to 13 the greatest gift imaginable: gratuitous nudity and low-budget gore. And at that age, we couldn't give a crap about the plot. Cue the boobs. Music. And in 3, 2, 1, I already forgot it.
You will be soon as big as a giant, or like all the others, dead.
You think I imagined all of it, don't you? You think I'm insane?
That's feng shui.
A match made in a bathroom, just floating into the void.
A 1, a 2, a 3.
You know what to do. What's that from?
I don't know. I think he just made that up.
It's possible.
No, I was doing Tootsie Roll Lollipop.
Oh, I see. The owl.
The world may never know.
Why was he hanging around those kids? Just the 70s? Everything was cool in the 70s.
Right before we got started, I was watching the first half of The Amusement Park.
Yes, I have tried to watch it twice this weekend and fell asleep twice. So
it seems like it should be an MST short.
Yeah. Although people were really praising it online. I don't know if it's just the fact that there was one more Romero movie, or
I'm waiting for something to happen besides just wandering through an amusement park.
Well, I think that's what they were, everybody was commenting about, like the kind of social commentary and what it was like to get old, I guess.
I just got off the part where they were trying to force him into, oh, you'll enjoy this ride. And he goes in there and it's just rehab for a nursing home.
Oh.
And he's like, no, I don't want to be in there. No. But
I mean, that's pretty dark.
I was noticing a lot of head wounds. There's a lot of the people have bandages on their foreheads.
Yeah.
So.
Didn't we do a movie where everybody had like a bandaged up head? What was that?
Don't know.
It might have been extracurricular movies that I was watching, but there was like, I guess it is a cheap special effect. Just wrap some, bandage and squirt some blood on it, and you've got a head wound. It looked like a Monty Python skit or something, or Faulty Towers, where there's just a lot of head injuries.
And big bandages.
Like way more. Like, you don't have to wrap his eye up in that. Nothing happened to his eye.
I gotta say, I love this movie.
Oh my God. I think that says so much about you personally and like your kind of personality. From the moment I saw Doug McClure, I was just like, oh, brother. And then it just went on to like introduce like his girlfriend or his wife.
I've got a lot of problems with that.
On.
We've got to talk about that because I was confused. Is this his wife? Is his daughter? Do they have is it his grandchild?
Unclear. Completely unclear. I went back and with the closed captioning on, tried to figure it out. My biggest, I guess we'll get to it, but the biggest mystery for me. Okay. You know what? I don't want to get hung up at the very beginning. Let's just say who we are so that we can get into this, because I've got lots of questions about people's names and their relationships to each other, because I am in the dark about a lot of it.
See, that's why I opened up with talking about the amusement park, so I could kind of stall us to getting to the point. But now
I know.
I just have to get to it.
I know. I mean, yeah, usually we save questions and stuff like that for the podcast, but I really wanted to text you and be like, who is Hank? And what is the sheriff's name? And it seems like names in this were just interchangeable.
Oh, yeah.
Probably because there is no continuity at all.
Well, there is no real character development. I don't know who anybody is.
Was Vic Morrow just doomed to play a racist asshole in everything since he did it so well? I
was going to say the same thing.
Because it is really, really just shoveling on the racism.
He calls him braids.
Several times. And I
thought to myself, is that really a racial slur?
I have that exact sentence written down. What is braid, and is it a racial slur? I did not look it up because I was just like, you know what? This is the single like reference to that, and I don't care. I just don't want to know. I just don't want to.
This is probably the only movie that's ever referenced it in that way.
I mean, I've never heard of it before, so.
No, and I also have written down in my notes, and Vic Morrow is hair shaming him.
Oh my God. The first note I have is, well, Vic Morrow did it. He figured out the worst hair and facial hair combination to have on a man, and is just, when I saw his hair, has he always had like a perm?
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I've seen him in movies before without that curly hair, and it is shocking to see it. Also, he has not as much. I don't want to grade them or anything, but his wife is, I think, someone who would never look at him like that in real life, you know. But Doug McClure's wife, this is like closer to a sci-fi movie, the fact that those two are together and have a young child.
Again, I'm still unsure that it was his wife.
I know. I saw that kid at the end and I was like, now whose kid are they babysitting for somebody? Well, Doug McClure is a very old man.
I asked halfway through the movie, didn't he have a kid in the beginning of this film? Who's watching this kid?
Well, and to be fair, the children in this movie are constantly endangered. Oh. There's a child in a very dangerous situation within moments. Oh, I'm watching the movie right now, and by 5 minutes in, and I'm looking at that kid like he's not going to survive the next he's not going to survive this scene.
Let's get into it and tell our audience. Yes, we are watching Humanoids from the Deep. Obviously.
AKA Monster, AKA... I have written down somewhere all of the different names. Yeah. But
it says...
Beneath the Waters, I think, or Beneath the Darkness or something?
It was like Beneath the Depths or...
Yeah. Whatever it was a much better name than Humanoids from the Deep.
And... it was kind of like under a guise to try to get, it's called Beneath the Darkness. And it says here actually on Wikipedia is that most of the people made the film with the working title Beneath the Darkness. Several of them expressed shock and anger at the release film when it changed its title. And the addition of nudity and sexual exploitation.
Oh my God.
We'll have to talk about that in depth.
This movie could have been called Gratuitous Nudity, and that would have been another, or just boobies.
Boobs. And maybe that's why I liked it so much as a kid, because...
yeah, there's a lot
of boobs.
I watched this first on like regular TV, like local television.
Yeah.
I realized, and it just had all of that stuff cut out of it. And to be fair, if you cut all the boobs out, it is a very boring movie.
And very short.
Yes. Since every scene is required to at least have some type of scantily clad woman.
Oh, yes. That was done after the fact, and we'll talk about it a little bit more.
Yes.
But let's go ahead and let's just introduce ourselves already, okay?
Let's get it over with.
Welcome to the Moratorium. My name's Tim Kornman, and with me as always is Jason Walker.
Hi. Ooh, yeah, a little British lilt there at the end.
Music composed by James Horner.
James Horner, shame on you. Shame on you.
The music is very reminiscent of Jaws.
It is.
It's a ripoff of Jaws, I'm sure.
It is, much like this movie.
Jaws, Alien.
Oh, Alien, yeah.
They were unashamed of what they were doing.
No. This is just a gratuitous ripoff. But, I did enjoy this movie. I've enjoyed it in the past. I guess I was just watching it with a very critical eye this time and just being like, the special effects were great, but there was zero continuity.
It jumps right into several things. Just like the carnival at the end. It's like, did I miss something? Or did they mention like 30 seconds before the carnival's like, oh yes, there's a carnival.
Yeah. Yes. At midnight. We're having a Miss Salmon competition at midnight on a Tuesday or something.
It was our main guy here, Doug McClure, who was just like, oh shit. We forgot.
Yeah, forgot.
That there are thousands of people on the water's edge right now.
Yes. Doug McClure cannot be accused of being an action hero, so
no?
He's as good as you're going to get, guys. I kind of thought Johnny was going to step up and be kind of the hero of the thing, and I guess he was. He did think to bring a rifle, so at least there's that. And I don't think he set anything on fire. The amount of drunken fires set in this movie is like, everything is just bursting into flames.
Oh, it's huge explosions.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Even from the first shot. So we're in a coastal community. Yeah. A coastal town that
somehow they're coastal and rednecks.
Yeah.
That's why I hesitate to say it's like, I guess it is the East Coast. I guess there's just rednecks everywhere of all different kinds.
I felt like it seemed like they were in Maine or somewhere on the East Coast, but they're not. They're in California.
Okay.
All of this is filmed in California.
Right.
But they did a good job with this community, with this making it look like the small town of Noyo.
The annoying radio guy says it like 3 times, but he's like whispering it. And I was like, can the fishmen attack him? And then they did. They did finally. 2 minutes later. Thank God. His death was actually pretty good.
Oh, he played grab ass with all sorts of women going by. Oh, yes. He's like, I'm a radio star. Check me out.
God.
Yeah. Honk, honk.
Whatever he was doing, it was cringeworthy. That guy was also, I looked him up because he seemed a little, okay, this is where, we're like, I have so many problems with this movie. And I'm like 3 minutes into it. But anyway, let's just watch it a little bit. And maybe you can explain, you can answer some of these questions that I have.
I have more questions.
Okay. We'll figure it out together.
So we start off with,
are you talking about Hoke?
Yeah, Hoke Howell. That doesn't even seem like a real name.
If you listen to this guy talk, it's like, yes, obviously his name is Hoke, because that is the only name he could possibly have. I have seen him in Kingdom of the Spiders, and he was in Side Hackers.
Okay.
Beloved
of course he
MST
was.
movie. Yep. With Michael Pataki. That guy shows up everywhere.
All these guys, just their livelihood is fishing. Is that right? The salmon.
There is a lot of fish talk.
There's a lot of fish talk, guys.
That I kind of like glazed over, like, okay.
One guy actually does say salmon, and I just...
That's the radio guy. He says it over and over again. Miss Salmon.
Salmon.
I mean, I don't know... I don't really know what the proper pronunciation is, but the way he was saying it was definitely wrong.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you're going to have everybody from this same town, have them say it all the same way.
Yeah.
That's just me.
Figure it out, guys. But that's not why we're here.
Nope. We are here for blood, guts, and boobies.
Slimy boobies. Oh, my God. I laughed out loud at one scene. We'll get to it later, but... it involves slime and boobs.
Hoke Howell is going out.
He's going fishing.
With his son, his youngest son, who I guess is his first mate.
Yes.
They waste very little time in showing you some of the monster. So he's got a monster in his net, and they're trying to winch it up.
Yes.
And which...
he is starting at an 11. He is already screaming at everybody.
He's had way too much coffee.
Coffee, and I assume like with bourbon in it or something.
Oh, yeah.
I just assume everybody is drunk in this. I saw that kid with a giant like fuel barrel behind him, and I was like, oh, brother. Yep. This kid, you're going to be picking up pieces of, what's his name? I'm sure it's like Billy or Jimmy.
Augustus Gloop.
Yes, exactly.
But when he disappoints his dad, or you've been on the boat all day and you didn't check for fuel. What is wrong with you? They can't get the boat started. They can't pull it up. They're like, oh, we're gonna lose this catch. But if you notice, all the ropes are just barely dangling. Nothing is being pulled.
Nope.
But this kid is probably doing the best acting as he's trying to put the fuel into the winch.
Half of the gas is ending up on the poop deck here.
Just pouring it out.
He's even got a funnel. I mean, I guess that would be pretty hard. Although every time it cuts back to the kid, the water is perfectly still, and then it cuts back to those jerks, and it's just like fucking white caps. And
this whole chain of events is very funny.
Oh, yeah. It's hilarious.
I laughed because you know what's going to happen. Little boy goes overboard, and there's a reverse shot. Did you catch that?
I did. Yeah, he goes... like up, down.
Gets pulled under. I mean, it's a good shot. Underwater shots are actually well done in this movie.
Yeah, they are. I don't know why they felt the need to add that second, like, reverse dunk.
Nah, I don't know.
It just made it look silly. It just made me giggle.
But the blood in the water bits, it was good.
Yeah, it was okay. And all of the sudden, Harry is just like, I got to get my son. He's like, you were just seconds away from like beating him to death. But if you look at that scene, it looks like the guy, this movie could also be called just like Stupid Hats, because everybody has one of those giant, they either have a giant like trucker hat on. The captain guy, he had that little fisherman's hat on. It looks like he had to use bobby pins to keep it on his head, because it's like a yarmulke or something. It is just covering like a 3-inch diameter right at the back of his head. It's balanced precariously.
He grabs the flare gun and trips on, I don't know. He trips on something.
Yeah. The Amish guy.
Yeah, he looks Amish. He's the Amish boat captain. Yeah.
Yeah, he looks like Captain from Captain and Tennille.
So, but that boat, when he shoots it with the flare gun, that gas that's on the deck, and the entire boat just
like it's fucking Lethal Weapon or something. It's just they just had a ton of dynamite on there,
and they do it in like a 3-shot,
yes.
You see a mushroom cloud coming off of that boat.
Fucking Doug McClure sees it from like the shore. He's like, whoa, what was that? Huge explosion. And yes, thankfully the entire crew was disintegrated.
They didn't follow up on like any of that, did they? Did the officers show up later and like interview and say, well, what do you think happened? The boat blew up. What are you going to do?
I got a bucket of parts that I think is hairy, but we're going to have to kind of sort through these. Bunch of flannel and fingers.
Flannel and fingers. That sounds like a shop on Hollywood Boulevard.
Yep.
Flannel and fingers.
Mm-hmm. Have we seen Vic Morrow yet?
Yeah, he was at the beginning. So he was right before they were getting on the boat. Everybody's kind of just talking. Let's just go to the plot. So there's a cannery that's moving in on this small coastal town, trying to open up, I guess, salmon canning.
I don't know. The like quote unquote plot is very tenuous.
But they have brought along a scientist.
Yes, a female scientist.
They're working on a growth hormone / genetic code to breed
what could go wrong?
Salmon at an extensive rate.
Wow, I just realized this is the second fish mutant movie that we've done. The first one was The Kindred.
Yeah.
Right?
Which also happened to do with, with genetic codes.
Guys, stop it. Has it ever worked out well? No.
Probably not. Nope. But it makes for a good quote-unquote plot, I guess.
Yeah. Slimy fish creatures.
I was kind of sad, though. I mean, they don't waste any time jumping in on the creature, but the creature attacks the dog.
Yeah, well, hang on a second. I need to ask something before this. So, yes, we see a little bit of the creature.
Stop the movie 7 minutes in and talk about the lack of plot.
But I mean, the real plot, I mean, the only thing that's running throughout the movie is the cannery is called Canco, by the way. They couldn't even come up with anything. No. Yeah, whatever, Canco. Who fucking cares?
That's right.
But
the writers didn't care to give us more of the plot there.
It's not why we're here.
Can't you call it Fish Corp?
Yeah, exactly. Fish Corp. For all your fishing needs. But anyway, the only through line is that Vic Morrow hates Johnny, who is Native American. I don't know. Is he saying that it's like tribal land that they're trying to build the cannery on or something?
Right. He said he's trying to go to court to say that all of this coast line is tribal land and you can't build anything like this on there.
Right. That's neither here nor there, but it just exposes the fact that Vic Morrow is just a huge piece of shit racist.
Mm-hmm. Well, and we get an idea later that he's in bed with CanCorp.
Sure. Yeah, he's kind of helping the,
It'll bring jobs and security and...
Right. And I don't want to... I mean, I think this might be the first time that I've mentioned it this early, but they could really use a master ninja to come to town and just kind of clean up all the corruption and stuff. This is a perfect plot for... In fact, I think this is the plot for one of the episodes of The Master, but yeah.
What a coincidence that I think several of your actors in this were probably in at least one episode
at the least
of The Master.
At the least. It's hard to look at Doug McClure's face. Let's just be honest.
Okay, their dog went missing. We saw the dog get attacked because they let him out because it was barking. It's a good attack. They did some quick angles and made it look believable.
If they had kind of panned down, the dog is, wagging its tail and just kind of having fun. But
yeah.
Squirt some blood on him and it looks like he's being massacred. They're not afraid to kill pets.
Nope.
There's a lot of dead animals in this movie.
Oh, yeah. In fact, at the very first shot, we see a seagull with one leg.
Yeah. Was he smoking a joint or something? Or no, he was I couldn't tell what that was. I guess it was a sardine or something.
Yeah, he's eating
or
something.
A little fish.
And
sardine.
Knowing that this is George George.
Roger?
Roger Corman release made me wonder if they ripped that seagull's leg off of it just to get the shot.
Yeah. Roger's like, I think that bird needs boobs. Can you make me some boobs to put on the bird? Every bird should have a set of boobs.
I think this came out the same year as Battle Beyond the Stars, by the way.
Oh, interesting.
They sunk a little bit of money into this, but there's a behind-the-scenes featurette that I watched right before we started this that talks about everything that I'm getting ready to cover anyway.
Okay.
Really what happened with Roger was saying that, you know, after they started filming and then he had told the director...
Barbara Peters.
He wanted the men get killed, the women get raped. And that's what he wanted in the film. The men getting killed, the women getting raped. And she did that. She filmed the gratuitous violence of the men being killed. But when it came to the rape scenes, she kind of did it in shadows and darker, you know, shots. And you could see silhouettes and shadows. And he was disappointed because he wanted to see boobs.
Yeah.
And the way she shot it was actually, I guess, too tasteful for Corman, maybe.
Maybe.
So that's when he hired the first unit director or second unit director to come in and shoot all of these extra shots. And she didn't know that they had changed it. Right. There was a discussion, and I read this. There was a discussion between Peters, the director, and Roger Corman. And he said that he was going to shoot these extra shots and then let her see them before they inserted it, but they failed to do so. They basically just pushed her out of the way and then spliced two different movies together, a tasteful version and then just a smutty version. And bam, there you've got Humanoids from the Deep.
But, I mean, if you look at her, you know, career, she's not she's not a nun. Exactly. That's not completely out of her, she's not out of her element there. I think it was more like she was trying to tell like a serious, to me, the nudity makes it ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like it is so gratuitous and so like pointless. You know what I mean? The special effects, and I don't know if we've said that yet, but the special effects are the only reason you're here besides the boobs, because they're really good, because they were designed by Rob Bottin and Steve Johnson. So, but yeah, there's a cut of this movie that's an actual pretty scary little horror movie, but
they only had 3 humanoids.
Yes.
They had a full humanoid suit, and then they had 2 partials.
Right.
But they filmed these at so many different angles and close-ups and different shots that made it look like many humanoids. And they did a good job at that. They really did. Yeah. Granted, if you're having a fish monster, I mean, really, you throw some seaweed on it.
Yeah.
And you just keep going.
Seaweed is very forgiving. You can just kind of garnish your actor with it and looks great. Also, you can garnish some boobies with it. And then... So the dog has been killed by the fish man, and Doug McClure is completely out of his league. Wife? ? Although they are wearing matching like blue vests, so I would assume that they're husband and wife.
It's still questionable.
Still questionable. Also, okay, this is what I wanted to know. I got to come back to that, but also I've got to understand this. Do you know the name of the sheriff?
His real name or
no? The character's name.
No.
This guy looks and sounds like Vigo the Carpathian a little bit. He kind of looks like that guy. He's got like kind of liver lips. But I swear to you, okay, Vic Morrow's name is Hank Slattery. Okay.
Yes.
Great name. I swear to you, they call the sheriff Hank a couple of times because I can't pick him out of the IMDb list, and the movie is completely... the only reason I wanted to know is because he looks He looks so familiar, but I think maybe it is just that he kind of looks like Vigo the Carpathian.
Well, I don't think you can trust Vic Morrow in who he calls what. He calls one of the guys Susan.
Okay, so everyone's drunk.
I backed it up to see that. I was like, wait,
okay.
Did he just call him Susan?
Is it an inside joke for like the cast that they were like, the script's so crappy I don't know what my name is? But anyway, so that's something to think about as we're watching, you know. So they're trying to find the dog. What's the dog's name?
Mm-hmm.
Baron. I don't know the sheriff's name, who is a human speaking character, but the dog's name is definitely Baron. But his wife, Doug McClure's wife, Carol, she sees a bunch of slimy green stuff, and if movies have taught us anything, it's that if you discover a gross, like, puddle of stuff, immediately stick 3 or 4 of your fingers into it. I mean, immediately. You're obligated.
Doug McClure does that kind of slime flinging thing.
The Ghostbusters.
Bill Murray's does.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, yeah.
Exactly. Kind of like a dangle. It's like a loogie that he's put his hand into, and he's just kind of flipping it off.
There's a trail of this slime. Let's follow it.
Yeah.
But that dog makeup, when they find the dog, that was gross.
To me, it was very reminiscent of, Rob Bottin is just good at designing like dead dogs because it sort of looked like, like The Thing. And also there's a husky.
Yes, there is.
Johnny has a husky.
It's the only dog left as they go to the dock. Vic Morrow and his crew carrying what seems to be 30 cases of beer.
At least. It fills up the entire back of the pickup.
I thought for just a brief moment that, they're trying to stock up beer for this festival. No, I think they're just going fishing.
That's for that day. Yeah, and his crew, quote unquote, OSHA would have a lot of problems with what's going on with all of those guys. Like, okay, how many beers have you had already? It is 7:00 in the morning. Yes. Did you see that Vic is drinking his beer out of like a little teacup?
Yeah, he's got like a coffee cup with a beer stuck in it. It's like his own personal koozie.
I want one of those.
It's called a coffee cup.
Yeah, it's dangerous how many beers they're having before they go on their fishing
I guess
expedition.
That's a good reason that they go out on the dock and see all these dead dogs and then see the one husky and said, the Native American, he must have killed everybody's dogs when we weren't looking.
The actor is Mexican, by the way. I don't know if that really makes a difference, but yeah, he's from San Antonio. He's actually been in a few movies. He was in Marathon Man and The Running Man. Lots of movies with man. Man.
Humanoids from the deep.
Yes. Manimal. He was in an episode of Manimal. I mean, that would not surprise me.
He was also in Porky's 2 the next day.
He looked familiar, and it's not from any of these, so maybe it is maybe it's Porky's. I've definitely seen that a couple of times. Oh my God. We watched the opening. No, maybe not the opening scene. There's a scene where they get like a prostitute, you know?
Okay.
And in Porky's.
And that's what I'm saying. I was trying to think of this movie. All right.
Anyway, and she's like kind of going down the line, kind of like Animal House, and just like insulting all of them, specifically Pee-wee. And my wife was watching that, and she was like, "What is this?" And I was like, "It's Porky, same guy that directed. It's Bob Clark, the guy that directed A Christmas Story." And she was like, "No, I don't." She
refuses,
would not accept it.
But he did. Anyway, so Anthony Pena being pinned on killing these dogs. Some of the point of view shots with the humanoid. The humanoids, I guess, like to peep on women. They have strictly come on the shore to rape women and kill men.
Yes. Pretty sure. What else is there to do in a small town?
Fishmen are horny.
Yes, I have that written down. Horny fishmen.
Yeah.
I also have written down when I saw Vic Morrow's crew, I said, if this is a Marvel movie, the drunk fishermen would be the Avengers. Because that was kind of like, that's like a super team. Doug McClure has a pretty bitchin' ride.
Yeah.
It's like a Bronco, but it's like black and tan, sort of. And he also has a groovy jacket that's sort of like a nudie suit when they go to that dance or whatever.
You had me at Doug
McClure in a nudie suit.
And nudie suit. Yes.
And again, his wife is like a supermodel. And Doug is just like a 70s out of shape guy.
To get to it. I've got so many sidebars that we've got to get through this movie or I'm never going to fit them in.
I'm on to the dance.
You got two kids trying to make out constantly.
Right. She's kind of talking on the phone, scantily clad, of course. She looks a lot like another actress, and I don't want to like waste the time to find her. Actually, I do. I do want to waste the time to find her.
Okay.
She looks so similar to...
I was liking her to like a PJ Souls.
Kind of, yes, but oh, just talk for a minute.
Okay.
I have to know. I have to know.
I just want to know about this band.
I had their name pulled up.
They're an actual band. Her name, it's Joe somebody and like the Chum Scrubbers or something.
Yeah, Chum Scrubbers. Yep.
Are you still looking?
I'm sorry, but I think she was in a master. There she is. Kay Lynn.
You were looking at the master.
I was. That's how I.
Just trying to connect it back.
Do you know who Kay Lynn is?
No.
She is the girlfriend in House.
Okay.
She's William Katz's like ex-wife.
Right. Yeah, she looks exactly like her. You're right.
Okay. Thank you. That's all.
Yeah. That's it. That's the whole reason you brought us down here.
Neither here nor there, but I just needed to make that connection.
Really just had to make that connection back to the master.
Yep. You know what? I'm going to start my own like break off like podcast just about Master Ninja.
Okay. What are we calling it? Or what are you calling it? Obviously, I'm not invited to this.
You can be the guest host.
Okay, thanks.
Is this just a party to announce that the cannery is coming in or something? Or to it's like a party for the new the lady doctor? The fish doctor?
I think that they're pandering to this group.
Of course.
Oh, look at all these people that are here to support this cannery coming in.
Right. When it's like, nobody gives a fuck about the cannery.
No.
Except for Vic Morrow and his perm. He's just a loathsome character in this.
He plays it so well.
He does. I mean, to be fair, he is, if all of this is an act, if he's just like, humanitarian and, oh, wait. He got decapitated by a helicopter. I forgot about that. Ooh, maybe I should kind of chill out on. Oh my God. I had a genuine laugh when, and I don't know if they meant it to be funny. I think they did. But when the new, the lady fish doctor is dancing with one of the other like councilmen or whoever that blonde guy is, and he's like 5'1" or something. Yes. He's like comically short. I had a genuine laugh at that.
She is 6 foot tall.
What?
Yeah.
Is that true?
I looked her up. So,
oh, wow.
Ann Turkle. 6 foot tall.
Wow. Okay.
We're at a party that's going to get broken up because our titular Johnny has to bring in a dead dog.
And you know what sucks is like this type of movie, it would not surprise me if that would, how did they tranquilize a real dog? That is a real dog that he brings in there.
Yes.
It's a husky. And it is completely limp. I mean, I don't think a dog actor can act like that.
I don't know. Dog actor on the line.
Woof. Bark.
I thought it was really weird that so the guy and the girl are making out on the back of the truck.
They're drinking booze.
They go into the party for 20 seconds to get pulled back out, and they go back into the back of the truck to make out some more. We get our first boob shot.
Yes. Oh, you know what? I was looking because that guy, her boyfriend, has a shiner through the rest of it. A lot of people, there is no continuity about anything else in this movie. Exactly. But they kind of made sure to like put bruise makeup on everybody that was in the fight, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Johnny's makeup is like, it changes over the course of the movie. Sometimes it's like his whole head is like a seeping wound. Mm-hmm. And then sometimes it's just kind of like a little bruise.
Misplaced bruises.
But it's like, why concentrate on that one thing? All it's doing is distracting us from like...
This is the 80s. Nobody's going to notice that. His shirt was totally unbuttoned and blood all over.
And
it.
bloody.
When they get him outside to fight, his shirt's buttoned up and he's barely got any blood on him.
Yep.
So they're going to get Johnny out here and they're going to beat the shit out of him. And I guess everybody decides to jump in on a drunken brawl.
Yeah. Everyone in town is drunk, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Olympia beer.
Good God. Like warm Olympia beer. Can we at least put it in an ice chest instead of just stacked in the back of our truck? I feel like there's a lot of people drinking shook up beers, too. You know what I mean?
No, yeah.
Like, what's even grosser than a hot beer? One that is just like shook up and flavorless. Ugh. Just adds to the overall ambiance in this movie.
That's how he gets the bruise on his face. The guy does. They're in the back of the truck, and he opens up that little hatch off of the camper shell and just gets punched immediately.
Like unconscious. He falls back like he fucking hit him right on his knockout button. Yeah, that was funny. That's what I was going to say earlier. Is like, why did that guy have a bruised eye? But then I saw that. I was like, oh, he got punched into a truck bed.
That's good stuff.
Still don't know what the sheriff's name is. He's not a very good sheriff.
Pretty sure he's very adept at breaking up bar fights.
Yeah.
That's really probably all he does.
Yes.
Throwing the same 6 people in jail.
Yep.
I'm watching Vic Morrow just ride down the river in the boat.
Yep, with his little yarmulke on.
Yeah, it's his little stocking hat is on. I don't think a hat can be worn like that.
It's pinned to his wig or whatever's going on with his hair. Oh, there was a close-up of an owl.
Yes, it was like stock footage owl.
It's noon. You know, I think of owls as like nocturnal creatures. I may be wrong, but someone out there correct me. I dare you.
Who's to say?
Oh my goodness. Let's just move on. So what is he? Is he spying on Johnny?
I think so. So immediately we go back to the beach.
Yes.
I guess this is a beach.
Corman has decided that 3 minutes of story has been revealed. Yeah. We need to see some more tits.
We got to get back to the quote unquote action.
Did you notice that the girl who is
the cute one that's in the background just
and kind of
watching them make out?
She's like delighted that they are just like going at it.
Well, don't mind me. And they run off to go make out, I guess,
Murder Cove.
4 or 5 beaches away. Yeah, they got to go to Murder Cove. Yeah, I know this special place where we can be alone and get fish raped.
I know this cave where a dead body washed up once. Let's go check it out.
Doug McClure just takes our scientist, the fish scientist.
Yep, fish doctor.
She's just taking pictures. So, but just to talk about fish in general.
Yes.
And when did they decide that the cannery's moving in? So are they juicing the salmon in the area to get them to grow bigger so that the cannery will flourish even before it's built?
Unclear.
Because we never saw anybody dumping
No.
Boston Tea Party boxes full of,
fish steroids.
It's fish steroids.
Yeah, I don't know. It is very possible in one line of dialogue that they kind of like explained that, but I wasn't paying attention. But I assume that that's why the humanoids are coming up from the deep, is that they're like mutated from this like chemical or whatever.
And fucking other fish just isn't going to cut it?
There is about like a blessedly short bit of exposition where they show all that stock footage of like fish doing it, Did you I kind of fast forwarded it through it, but she does lay down some exposition, but it's come so late in the movie that it's like, who cares? Who fucking cares?
At that point, we already have an idea of what's going on.
We get it. There have been literally like Piranha came out before this, I think. Mm-hmm. I think this is cashing in on a bunch of, post Jaws water movies, fish movies.
I think you're right. Now, when did Jaws 2 come out? You have that number?
Look it up. No, but I should.
82?
Yeah, that sounds right, because Jaws was, 79, maybe?
Jaws 2 is 78. Jaws was 75.
Oh, okay.
I am so bad at this.
Yeah, well, I mean, it is proving our point. This movie's, 80?
80.
Yeah, so a couple years.
Yeah. All right, so these two lovebirds have finally decided to go for a swim.
The most romantic beach.
I enjoy this little montage of them playing around, but he gets pulled in. I like it when he gets pulled under the water. I think that looks pretty good.
The kill was very, it's so awkward in slasher movies where they need a reveal of like the wound or the special effects makeup, but you can do it subtly and you can do it with the most ham-handed like blocking. But that guy is just standing there in the water, kind of slumped over a little bit, just waiting for him or for her to like kind of pull his shoulder.
She's looking around. She's like, "Where are you?
Yeah.
Where are you? Oh, wait, you're right here."
Oh, you're just standing there like a fucking Blair Witch guy.
Yeah. Are you peeing in the water again?
Yeah, that's what it looked like. Like he was just, you just kind of stand right and you just can't move until you're done peeing, maybe. He got half his face ripped off.
And that looks really cool.
Looked really cool, and it didn't kill him.
No.
He kind of reaches for her after that. I thought that was really cool, because usually they would just float around in the water, but...
I dig that shot. No, it's like he's trying to save her out of his last breath and...
But safe. Tell me the truth. Is it bad? Is it bad?
Does it cover up that bruise that I just had?
Exactly. It's like, first I get in a cold cocked in a fight that I wasn't in, and now I'm eaten by a fish man. Mm-hmm. Just can't catch a break this week.
There's several shots, and they talk about this during the fish rape scenes, that it was so cold out that the makeup artist was brought in to make the actress's lips more pink because she was so cold they were turning blue.
It said that they filmed this, which half of the movie occurs in or around water, and they said they filmed it in like September or October, November, and December, which, I mean...
Well, it's California.
They're in California, but... That girl, the other cute girl, is Tommy's girlfriend. Just to clear that up. Tommy is like Johnny's like best friend.
That's right.
Yeah, he's the guy that...
Is he on the boat with helping out Doug McClure?
Yes.
He's got the other bruise, black eye.
That's Doug McClure's wife's brother.
I wondered now, but...
Because he said he had to go to the hospital to see Tommy or whatever.
That just shows you the age difference between Doug McClure and his wife.
He's like right out of high school. Well, he's like in his 20s, probably.
Maybe. Hey, are you ready to take a little break?
I need to take a break because the scene that is coming up is by far the most horrible thing that I saw in the entire movie.
All right. Can't wait.
Yeah, we'll get to it.
Hey, freaksters and freakettes. It's Tim from the Moratorium. Do you like the sweet sounds of our witty banter in your ears every week? Well, head on over to our Patreon, and for only $3 a month, you can get even more. in the director's cuts of our movie episodes. On average, that's 20 minutes more of our wisecracking, jive-talking, and lip-flapping laughter straight to your ear holes. Go to themoratorium.com and click on our Patreon link, and you'll find 5 awesome tiers with tons of goodies. You can also find our Teespring link on the website for even more awesome merch. Thank you for your support. Now on with the show.
I also was going to say that saying Doug McClure's name so many times, it's like Clu Gulager. It doesn't really roll off the tongue.
What do we want to call him? Big Jim?
Oh, please.
Big no. Jim Hill.
Again, have we figured out what the sheriff's name is?
Nope.
Okay, just checking back in.
Still no answer.
Still nothing. The real horror of this movie is coming up, and it is, when I saw it, I was just like, well, I'm going to turn this off, and I might never rewatch it ever again. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, tell me what's totally disturbed you.
Well,
is it the ventriloquist dummy scene? Is that?
Yeah, it is. Was that a thing in the 70s and 80s where like ventriloquists just had to beat women off of them with a stick? Like they were just so so turned on.
That's why I wanted one.
They had a little wooden dummy with them.
And actually, that's probably why I have one now. So we've got this scene on the beach.
Yeah.
Of them camping out, and this ventriloquist dummy, this girl's getting naked, basically just so she can have a threesome with this guy and his... Yeah.
That is what this scene is leading us to believe, is that she is horny for both of them equally. If that kid was not a up-and-coming ventriloquist, she would have nothing to do with him.
Right.
This is like her, sugar daddy. Like, once he hits it big, she is set.
Yes.
Maybe he's just got a big hog.
Maybe. I do kind of like his death because the humanoid rips through the tent that they're in. And granted, it is pitch black now. It is dark outside. It goes from light to dark, back and forth. But he gets that big gouge taken out of his back.
Oh, yeah.
I thought
it
that
looks
was pretty
gross. Cool. It looks real. It looks really what that would look like if the fish man took a chunk out of your back.
So she's completely naked, which makes it really easy for this fish rape.
Yeah.
But I love, she's running down the beach and runs right into the arm. There's a huge beach. She runs right at it.
Yeah, nothing is obstructing her view. She is looking straight ahead. She has no clothes on, but she has sneakers on. So technically she should be able to, outmaneuver anybody. And boom, just the only fish man. Maybe that's why she's with that guy. Maybe she's doesn't have her glasses on or something and can't tell that she's in a, let's face it,
with a ventriloquist
serial killer situation. That guy is going to kill her.
So, but Johnny takes his friend and his girlfriend over to his place because he just had caught a bunch of fish and they want to have
fish fry.
Fish fry. Yeah, sure.
A third wheel, oh, wait a minute. It is the 70s, early 80s.
No.
Maybe they thought they would just get some slow gin and see where the night takes them. I don't know.
And she's talking about making cornbread.
Oh, my God.
I think that means something else.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Vic Morrow's just going to sabotage Johnny.
Not even I assume murder him. And again, they have a Molotov cocktail. They throw one Molotov cocktail at Johnny's house, and it goes up like a bomb was inside of it.
That was a bottle of nitroglycerin.
And they start running down to his little dock to get water. I'm like, There's nothing to put water on.
No, it is a total loss.
You could put out the railing. Your house doesn't even have any walls anymore.
It wasn't much more of a Jason Voorhees shack to begin with.
Are there like some refrigerator magnets that you think might have survived the blast? You want to go back in for them?
Oh, my Stucky's spoon collection.
The baseball cards. They're gone, Johnny. Maybe he's just in shock, I guess, from his house detonating.
Yeah. Take my truck, go into town, and get some help.
Yeah, get the ineffective sheriff and what the hell, get Doug McClure out here too.
This is pretty good, though. I don't even know what the boyfriend's name is.
Tommy.
So he runs down to the dock to start firing aimlessly at Vic Morrow in his boat and gets pulled off into the water by one of the humanoids. I love this fight. This exchange of him trying to get on the dock and the fish man pulling him back down.
If you listen to just the audio, if you just listen to it without watching the video, it's something very different is going on.
Do you think he's being raped?
I don't know.
Now, Johnny grabs like an axe and throws it from like 50 yards away.
Is that what that was? I could not.
Something like that.
It's so dark.
It would have been just as good for him to hit his friend and him just like push him off into the water with his. Right, that didn't happen.
Yeah, the weather, like continuity stuff is crazy because when she goes to town, it's raining.
Yes.
That is artificial rain. It's not raining. You can see someone like splashing it onto the back windshield. So I don't know.
What does that add?
I don't know.
But the fish person on top of the truck, and she didn't notice beforehand, it starts breaking through the glass. That's fun.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud when she just ran over it and she's like, all right, well, I'm going back to town.
Yep.
All right. She's so calm once again.
Like, that's over with.
That was so close.
Yeah. And then there's also one in the bed of the truck.
Yeah. And this made me laugh out loud because he breaks through the back window, grabs her from behind, and immediately the truck goes over a bridge.
It turns into a different vehicle and then crashes off of a bridge.
And explodes.
Yeah, blows up
on impact.
There was no such thing as like vehicle impact damage. Everything was so unsafe
and volatile.
Okay, I'm sorry, but Doug McClure just ran up and grabbed the sheriff and called him Hank. Okay?
Okay.
Vic Morrow, he turns right around and says, Hank. He calls the sheriff Hank, and then he calls Vic Morrow Hank. So was everybody just named Hank back then? Did you have to have a certain amount of Hanks per county? It's a very strange choice to have two Hanks in a movie that has like 10 characters in it.
That's good.
Johnny got roughed up a little bit, and he literally looks like the Elephant Man. Like he cannot see out of that eye.
No,
completely
it is swollen shut. Yeah.
Johnny takes Fish Doctor Lady and Doug McClure out to look at his shed.
She notices, is this a fish person hive?
When she's like crawling under the little pier to,
yeah. So she's got on it's not really a wetsuit. It's like a rain slicker.
Yeah. She looks like the Gorton's fishermen.
Yeah.
Those fish stick fishermen.
But no, this is pretty cool. I mean, when she's going around taking pictures and there's like a rib cage, an obvious human rib cage.
Oh, is that what that... Maybe it's not so obvious.
They just totally disregard it, though. Just like, oh, well.
She's actually standing on evidence.
It's touching her. And she's like, oh, well, I'm not sure. We found evidence.
You just walk around the crime scene a little bit, see if I can scatter some of these bones around. Did Johnny do that really good sketch of the fish person? Someone's a very talented artist.
That was just strange.
Yeah.
This group is the only one that knows what's going on.
Yes.
And they're trying to go fishing for a fish
I have
man?
no idea. Johnny is fighting that salmon. I mean, honestly, it does look kind of like a big fish, but he is just like... I don't know. It looks like he's trying to bring in a marlin or something, and then Doug McClure
Got me a marlin.
brings in like a 6-pound fish or something.
What do you use for bait for to catch a fish person? Obviously, just a naked chick, right?
Yep. Boobies. I wish it would switch to their vision where they're kind of like the predator, but they just see tits. Just 2 heat signatures that they zoom in on.
That's good.
They managed to get the doctor into, it could not be called skimpy, but she is in like a kind of one piece.
It's like a one-piece swimming suit, but slash...
Yeah, like a wetsuit kind of.
But this, I think they did a good job. Like I said, making it seem like there were so many fishmen reusing the same costumes.
Yeah.
It was believable for me.
Yeah. Again, they do look awesome. They don't really stand like out in the daylight scrutiny because it does just, they look a lot like mutants, where they have like, they're just like a big brain.
I kind of like that. Kind of like they're missing part of their skull, so you can see the brain out the back. I dig that.
Yeah. It's slightly goofy because it does look kind of like a bad 50s thing, but yeah, their faces are really fucking scary. And there's just a coating of like KY on everything. Johnny
has another fight in the water with a fish person.
I don't know how he's still alive.
Hey, I know. Doug McClure saves him.
The fish guy, when he's fighting with Johnny, looks like when you like make a bubble, you're not splashing, but you kind of like make like a little depth charge, and then it splashes, like a big air bubble, You know what I mean?
Sure.
I can't explain it.
And then they find the naked chick.
The girl that looks like Kaylin's. This made me laugh out loud.
What, when she's taking pictures and just like getting real close, there's just a leg sticking out of the seaweed?
Yeah, but when they uncover her face and they're just like, oh my God, of course, let's take pictures of her first. But then they just pull that seaweed away from her boobs, and I was like, oh, there we go. I thought we could at least treat the wounded girl with some type of dignity, but no.
It has been 3.5 seconds since we've seen boobs.
This scene is what was just like, oh God, are we still? We get it. Fish people, mutants, things.
But she's talking about how it has tremendous brain capacity. Look at it.
Ugh.
And it's so advanced, it has webbed fingers.
When there's a close-up of its face with the slime dripping off, that did kind of make my stomach kind of, it's gross.
The Weasley Edwards, who she was dancing with at the party, is the one who was like, wait a minute now, we don't know that our DNA that we've been dumping in the water, that our steroids has caused this.
Well, I mean,
they didn't exist before, but here, let's watch this 1950s, history television show on DNA.
Yes, let's just see some
frogs.
Stock footage of fish mating.
And frog fornication.
That guy cracks me up so much. His hair and his acting style. He does a lot of acting with his eyes. He makes his eyes go really wide, and he looks like a Kids in the Hall like sketch character or something.
You're right. That perfectly fits. So they say that they've used this experiment to make a frog get to adult stage within a matter of days.
Sorry, I lost you for a second.
Lost me or lost the plot?
No, both a little bit, but no, you kind of faded out.
Okay.
It's just, science.
Science!
Look, some frogs fucking.
It's a prehistoric type of fish.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Now I'm interested. I mean, I can get behind that.
What does she call it? She calls it a colon clant. The colon clant?
It looks like they're growing ears. Yeah, coelacanth.
Look it up, guys. Tell us if that's real.
Yeah. If any of you out there know anything about ancient fish, don't email us because we don't want to know.
So this is the attempt to get some sort of plot going,
I guess, or just to pad out the film a little bit because no one really cares. We're just like linking together shots of girls' tits.
Well, this is what she says. It's my theory that the fish people are driven to mate in order to further development of their species.
Okay. So
they're just horny fishmen. And all of a sudden, that's when he just pipes in of, oh shit, the festival.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like immediately.
Oh my God.
It took months and months of planning.
Literally everyone in the town except for us is at this one place. Is there a woman handing out burritos?
Yeah, it looks like it.
I don't know what that was.
I think that's exactly what it was.
Yeah, the big salmon fest.
Oh, and this smarmy radio disc jockey.
It's just so bad.
There is a little bit of the salmon girl.
Yeah.
She's on the little featurette behind the scenes.
Yeah. None of the girls have anything really good to say about this movie. No. It's like, well, yeah, they basically forced me to take off my clothes.
She says that. And she was like, well, at least she got to fight back.
Yeah.
Because when the fish starts coming after her, fish man comes after her, he rips her top off.
Yeah.
But she picks up a rock and just starts bashing him in the head. And I think she states that, well, you were probably looking at my boobs and not what I was doing.
Right. But at least she got to fight back.
Right.
She has that smile just like permanently stuck on her face. And I realize she's in a bikini. It looks like it's midnight and it's in like December. So
yes,
probably not people are dancing with like coats on and stuff.
So we finally get to see Doug McClure's kid again.
I mean, his head is big and he has blonde hair. So maybe
that fits.
Yeah. The wood paneling in that house is out of control, by the way.
It's all wood paneling. So there was a little bit of trivia behind that. The girl that's playing his wife, because they wanted her to do a shower scene.
Right.
And this seems to be what a running theme with Roger Corman movies as well, as that you secure the woman for the role.
Mm-hmm.
And then while you're on the set, getting ready to do the scene, say, hey, by the way, can you take your top off?
Yeah.
I think that's every movie that Roger Corman's ever produced.
Oh, yeah.
That's how it's done.
He seems like your friendly grandpa, kind of like a Mr. Rogers kind of character. But I can't imagine. I mean, a lot of the things he does just seem so vindictive. And, he's like, well, if you don't take your top off, then I guess we'll just have to edit you out of the movie and kill your dog. And
they got somebody else to stand in for this girl while she's in the shower.
Yeah.
And it was somebody that is way more voluptuous than she is.
Yeah. Well, they show her in a shirt with no bra after that scene. And it's like, well, who was that in the shower? Because they're very different bodies. I think he just thinks you just want to see boobs in any way possible.
Yeah. Even if it's a silhouette.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I just saw Vic Morrow do a spit take with his beard.
I thought he, sprayed it out of his nose. It's coming from, it almost looks like on Saturday Night Live when they, have to puke or something, and they have, a tube in their jacket, so they hold their hand up by their mouth, and then, it sprays stuff everywhere.
That's good. So they barely get to the festival to show off this fish thing.
Miss Salmon.
This fish monster.
Johnny brought a 30-06 to the Miss Salmon festival.
So the fishmen are breaking through this dock like it was balsa wood.
There's more wrong with that pier than just a fishman, that thing was very unstable. Very unstable if it just collapsed like that because of one fish guy. It cuts to a fishman kind of lightly rocking one of the kind of like posts that's holding it up. That's all he's doing. Kind of looks like he's humping it a little bit. And then the whole fucking thing just crashes to the ground.
This, I think, was probably the scariest part for me when I watched this as a kid.
Yeah.
That part of the pier breaks, and it's like just this very steep ramp now.
Yes.
That people are trying to crawl up, and you've got a little girl.
Yeah.
There's a guy that just gets thrown.
Yes.
There is a keg of beer that rolls past that girl 3 different times.
Yeah, like Rhea Perlman kind of. Yep, I saw it 3 times.
3 times.
3 times. There's one guy that looks like he's like a Oak Ridge boy or something, and that guy, the fish thing, kind of shakes his head, and it's like he hits a artery, and blood just like sprays everywhere. That was really cool.
But we break in the middle of this action to go see the silhouette of the girl in the shower.
Yep.
I do love that immediately Doug's idea is we got to set the water on fire.
Yep. That's we've it's like what could go wrong at this point? Fire is our friend. That is a very cool kill where he rips that guy's head off and then kind of carries it around like a bowling ball or
just
something.
Showing it off.
It does look very, just kind of, I guess, the expressions on those prosthetic faces and stuff looks very like The Thing, and
Mm-hmm. They did a good job on the blood and the gore.
Yeah.
They really did.
Yep.
And with even 3 suits and 2 of them being partial suits, they did a great job.
Yeah. I love it that one of the fishmen is on the carousel, like killing a hippie or something.
Yeah, I love it.
How did it get up there?
I don't know.
It doesn't look like they have very good balance.
No.
Finally, Miss Salmon is like, this might be serious. I might need to stop grinning inanely and do something.
At least that disc jockey, though, gets it really good, though.
Oh,
I mean, it's
God, it's so irritating. I mean, most disc jockeys are, but
he's still recording. That's the most important thing.
Dedication. He's like, I'm wearing this stupid visor till the bitter end.
And yep, that's the end.
Oh, saw his ribs. And he does kind of a cool death rattle, like kind of shakes around a little bit.
He's a little seizure style.
Oh my God. Miss Salmon looks like she would die. Don't leave like plastic bags anywhere near her because she will find a way to get her head caught in one of them.
So it's going after Doug's wife and baby.
Yeah. Grandson.
That little creepy walk. The fish person outside the house, though, it's kind of foggy outside and dark. Very kind of creep show reminiscent.
Oh, sure.
As it's like walking up on him. Yeah.
Yep. Kind of backlit.
I dig it.
Yep. Oh my God. That is another, I know we talked about it already, but when it rips off Miss Salmon's bikini top, I did laugh because it was just like, it didn't leave a scratch on her. It just managed to pull that top up.
It's off of her, then it's pulled up, and then it's off of her again.
Yes.
Yeah.
Roger.
But at least these fish people have exposed brains, so you have something easy to target to kill them with.
Yes.
This one kid threw a flaming spear at one of them.
Where did he get that? Why?
I don't know.
What was he roasting marshmallows?
He's like 8. 8 years old.
If even. I mean, like, he's a very young child. He's the hero of this film.
Oh, yeah. So it's because of this kid, though, his sister's on that ramp and getting ready to get killed. And that's where Vic Morrow gets his
redemption.
Yeah.
By barely. I mean, like, he's not trying very hard.
No,
he definitely was going to be like, I was too late, and then
just out of my reach.
Yeah. It's like, you've still got a few, I mean, you're a grown man. You just reach your hand down farther.
She's a 28-pound little girl.
By the way, the girl, the fish doctor, she's doing that like when you have just a garden hose and no like nozzle on it, where you just kind of put your thumb in it to make it spray out faster or harder, she's doing that with gasoline in one scene, and then the very next scene she's got a flare gun in her hand. Like this is not going to go well. Fire is not something that the people in this movie should be messing around with.
They set the water on fire. I don't know what they decided that this was going to...
That's done, at least. I don't know, because all of the fishmen are on land. I mean, they are up out of the... Lady, if anyone should understand this, it's her. They are amphibious. It's like, the water's on fire. I guess we just won't go back in the water. You know? The people in this movie are reckless.
Yeah. So Johnny saves Vic Morrow. I love that. There's one humanoid still on the ground, just ripping shacks apart.
I saw that. I was going to bring that up. There's a guy there against that one little stall, and he's kind of punching him, but then he kind of just wants to knock down that stall too. He's mad at the stall. Yeah. Maybe he just wanted some free popcorn. Ooh, that guy just like hacksaw Jim Dugan'd his head. He
ripped a 2x4 off of the stall and just started beating.
If everybody in the town would show that type of like moxie, they wouldn't be in this situation. Instead, they're just like running around panicking.
They're running every direction. Yeah. And this is in the trivia, but I noticed it when I was watching it. There's about 10 seconds of
screaming
audio of just screaming that is looped.
Yes. My wife was kind of in and out of the room, and she was like, what? Will you turn that down? It is just the same woman screaming over and over.
So do you think that that the fish people have regenerative powers, so if they just get back to the water, they can
heal themselves or something? Or
grow another tail like a gecko or whatever?
Maybe.
Can a gecko do that?
I don't know. Write in and tell us, guys.
Yeah.
The Geico gecko, maybe?
Maybe.
I think he said in one of those commercials that he can grow another tail.
Okay.
There you have it, folks. Science fact.
Let's get all of our science facts from commercials.
The townspeople finally fucking get it together that if they...
To ambush one fish person.
Yeah. Hang on. If I just beat this fish like I beat my wife, I'll go down like a sack of potatoes. There is one fish person that he's kind of covered in black blood a little bit. Uh-huh. He has like black fluid on him rather than red. But anyway, it's the one that all the townspeople are kicking the shit out of. That actor, whoever was in that, was doing something very specific to like, he was doing kind of a weird dance, I guess. Kind of looked like he was pelvic thrusting.
No. Are we to believe that, we've got the final scene, right, where Doug McClure is coming to rescue his wife and kid.
Why didn't she just come with?
I don't know.
Why didn't she just go stay with her mom for the weekend or something?
Right.
But let's put you in, a cabin right near the water where you're definitely going to get attacked by fish people.
But you get to see this fish person in some good lighting.
Yeah.
Seriously, even if it's a rubber suit.
No, it looks really cool.
I dig it.
Yeah. That guy, whoever's in it, is finally really like bringing it to life. It really looks cool. Kind of looks like Pumpkinhead or Tarman from Return of the Living Dead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
He's doing some kind of herky-jerky moves that look like if there was a giant mutated fish man, that's the way that they would get around.
So she reaches back and she grabs like some drain cleaner and sprays it in its face. Yeah. But there is a bit on that making of featurette, and I will post that on our website, by the way. But the editor was talking about trying to go from the one shot of her stabbing towards the camera and splicing it in with the fish monster. And he lost a few frames in between of her thrusting down, and it kind of looked stuttered.
Uh-huh.
And he liked the way it looked, so he incorporated that into more of the shots of her stabbing forward.
Yeah.
So it just looks more stuttered, and it's a good effect.
Yeah. That's what you get in a lot of these movies is whatever the monster is has like one kind of Achilles heel, you know? And seems like there was another fish monster movie where they use like sodium, to like dry them up and kill them or something.
Mm-hmm. The mud monster, they killed him with salt.
Yeah. So I thought maybe that's what they were going to get at is like, you know, it hates this drain cleaner. Oh, but then it's like we have 4 minutes of the movie left. So sorry, we figured it out.
Yep.
So late.
But they're just looking at the carnage left behind.
Yeah. And they're like, well, at least it was better than last year's festival.
That's right.
It's just a smoking rubble.
Hey, there's like the mayor in the background with this huge bandage on his head.
Yeah. There's a guy that looks like Quint that's just walking around with a gun and a cigarette. Yep. Just a normal Tuesday for these guys. What is going on with the carousel? There's just like pink smoke billowing out of it.
I know, that was weird.
And there's 2 old people on it. I'm like, get those guys, those people are going to have some serious lung issues. Just breathing in this giant cloud of pink smoke. Oh, and then if that was not enough, this feels like completely. You think they always planned on doing this, having like a?
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, they probably were like, "Oh man, this is going to be it. This is going to blow people's minds."
Right, which was a direct ripoff from Alien.
Yeah, yeah.
But I mean, it's what stuck with me too.
I mean, this is probably the scariest thing in the entire movie. Is the last minute of this. But yeah, the girl that looks like Kay Lynn's, that they found wrapped in seaweed. Was
it an accelerated birth situation?
Yeah, sure.
You think? Because she has these scars on her face, like, well, these hastily applied scars to her face.
Yeah, it looks...
the worst makeup in the movie.
Yeah. It looks like she just has psoriasis a little bit.
Dry skin.
Super dry skin. And it made her eyes change color?
Yeah, sure.
Why do you think that happened?
I don't know.
I don't know. Oh my God. So I'm looking at my notes and Doug at the end says, Hank, where's Jake? And I was like, who's Hank? Who's Jake?
You've got to be more specific.
Exactly. Which Hank? I also wrote down, I would not be surprised if the Fishman rolled over and had a big set of tits. You know, just let's put boobs on literally everything.
See, I'm looking at my notes too, and I've got Shut Up Susan written down. That's something that Vic Morrow said.
Oh, great.
To another guy. He said,
sure.
Shut up, Susan.
Yep. At one point, one of the townspeople says, I can get my sea can. Did you catch that?
No.
The fuck is a sea can?
Pretty sure you made it.
No,
up.
I think it was in the closed captioning. I was watching it with closed captioning. He said, I'm going to get my sea can. It's what they call the toilet out at sea, on a boat.
Maybe.
Sea can?
I don't know.
Just another unanswered question. Who's Hank? Who's Jake? Whose kid is that?
So many things.
Well, that's that.
Well, we
watched Monster. Oh, no, wait. It was Humanoids from the Deep. I like the Beneath the Depths.
That was like the working title, and that's how they were trying to get bigger names attached to it by not saying Humanoids from the Deep.
They're like, Humanoids from the Deep. Is that a Roger Corman production? Yes, it is. It is a Roger Corman. It sounds exactly like a Roger Corman movie. The expectation of a movie called Humanoids from the Deep is that you're going to see some boobies and have a good time.
Yeah, it says right here, director Barbara Peters once said that the humanoids were originally supposed to be played by the film's stuntmen. Unfortunately, the stuntmen found the monster suits to be too goofy looking and refused to wear them.
In my mind, it's like, well, you're fired because the only reason you're here is because you're supposed to. I mean, I understand.
A sequel called Humanoids from the Deep Part 2. I know it's very original.
Yes.
The Next Generation.
Oh, why?
Where the creatures had learned to talk was planned to be set to be released in 1991 by 20th Century Film.
So do they still...
But it never materialized.
I read that, but then they actually have an entry for... I think it might just be Humanoids from the Deep without the...
Right.
But so that movie came out, right?
Well, in 1996, they did the remake.
Okay, that's a remake then.
Which had Robert Carradine.
Okay. Ooh, man.
And this is the one that was made for TV, and we talked about it, but it really, I think it was made for like Showtime.
Okay.
The remake actually had a lot less nudity, a lot less gore.
Right.
So they toned it down a bit.
So, but that's not to be confused with, there is a TV version of this original movie that was with all of that stuff taken out.
It was 23 minutes long.
Yes, exactly. Not much of a, I don't even know how you would, I mean, man, Humanoids from the Deep, the one with Robert Carradine, that has got some wild people in it. Clint Howard.
Yes, it does. Read them off. Clint Howard. Walton Goggins.
I know. Susan Hubley, which was Kurt Russell's first wife.
Burt Remsen. Remsen. Every time.
Like
he plays Duffy the coroner.
Burt Remsen. Oh my
Remsen.
God. Grandpa from Terrorvision.
Give me the Terrorvision theme again, would you?
Nope. I haven't done my vocal warm-up yet.
I
guess
we're 2 hours into the podcast and you're still a little rusty.
Look, we'll do it later. I'll do a track that we can isolate. Greg Travis, who is the repulsive DJ, is also in that remake.
Great.
I have to watch this just to see what Walton Goggins looked like in 96. Oh. Holy shit. His name's Rod in the movie.
Rod.
I love him.
In the trivia, though, it does state that they do the same kind of setting with the, it's the same story, and they use the festival shots from the beginning, from the first one.
Really?
So.
And you wonder why we've never heard of it. Wow.
Anyway. As if you couldn't get enough fish rape, you want to run out and go watch this.
I wonder if that part of the story is the same. If they're like, I mean, that seems like a big, I mean, if you're making a movie that isn't a Roger Corman movie, seems like pitching that fishmen are going to come out and rape the women. That's got to be a hard sell. Don't you think?
Yeah. And then making a version of which they cut out the fishmen raping the women.
Wow.
Everything that made this version what it is.
Yes, take all of that out.
It did say that I think it made $2.5 million at the box office, but I couldn't find an actual amount that it was made on. But even Corman touts, and he probably touts all of his movies as being this amazing success.
On time, right? And under budget.
Yeah. But I mean, this is a Corman classic.
Yep. He has a formula, and by God, he's going to stick to it. And it's been very successful, I think.
Yeah. He's made a lot of money.
I mean, we watched it. A couple of times.
A couple of times now, yes.
I mean, who are we to cast aspersions?
All right. Well, let's go ahead and wrap this up. What do you say? Have you had enough fish rape for the day?
I never want to see Vic Morrow's sweaty face again.
Did I tell you that I put a link up to, I think I put it up on Facebook, but I put it also up on our YouTube playlist. I put that Vic Morrow death scene in there.
Oh, yeah. I watched it. I watched it from several different angles.
It's rough.
Man. Wild.
Unbelievable. All right. Well, now that we've ended this podcast on a happy note. Jason, tell everybody where they can find us.
If you want to, you can go to themoratorium.com. We're not forcing you to, but we would appreciate it.
Click it now. If you'd like to help support this podcast, you can do so by going to our Patreon. And for as little as $1 a month, you could help keep us laughing all the way to the piggy bank.
Yep. Buy nitrous oxide with the money that you give us.
What's the going rate for some nitrous?
Oh, man. I don't know. I know a guy.
I don't know.
I'll make a couple of phone calls. We'll talk about this off the air. But
if you'd like to throw us a few more bones for $3 a month, I'm going to start giving you some extras. You can get the director's cuts of our movie episodes straight to your ear holes. All the extras, all the goodies. If you want to hear it, go on over to our Patreon, throw us a few dollars, and you'll start getting this. So if you'd like to hear more from us, go and check us out. Throw us a few things. We'll throw you a few things.
Patreon After Dark. That's what we're calling
it. Kind of like that.
I do too.
Also, you can find us on all the social medias. Go check out our Facebook group. Still growing. Doing very well. Having a lot of fun with it. You can find us on Instagram. Find us on Twitter.
LinkedIn.
I put one post on LinkedIn.
Did you get any response to that?
No. I looked at it like I was attempting to do something, made one post, and then quickly exited off. So those LinkedIn heads out there, you go right on over.
Yeah.
All right, Jason, is there anything else you want to add about this film?
No, but I'm sure we'll talk about it next week. We left some stuff out, but I can't do any more today.
Nope, had enough.
I just don't have the energy.
Oh, fish raped out.
Some of those fish steroids to wake me up.
All right. Well, let's shut this bitch down.
All right. See you guys later.
Good night, everybody.
Fish steroids.
Where's my fish steroids? You've been listening to The Moratorium, an MT Cornfield production. Tune in next week when we can the salmon and jump back into the celebration of Golan Globus with Canon Part 2. Ain't nothing but a good time. If you have any movie suggestions or just want to tell us how much we really suck, you can contact us at moviemoratorium@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and long live VHS. And she's talking about making cornbread.
Oh, my God.
I think that means something else.
Yeah.